The following is a presentation on my journey in developing the Visible Teaching and Learning site. My inquiry in 2018 was to develop a purpose-built innovative tool to enable all elements of the VTaL framework to be accessible to teachers in order to accelerate student achievement. Approximately 7 to 8 years ago, in my own practice, I was developing and trialling different tools to enable students to achieve in my subject. At the time, I had 2 Year 7 classes, 2 Year 9 classes, 2 Year 10 classes, and a multi-level senior class. Through student voice and feedback, I learned which tools were effective for enabling student progress and achievement to take place. These included Google Sites, calendars, and tracking sheets. This would eventually include the use of other VTaL tools. The next couple of clips show how students from Glenbrae School and also from Tamaki College are using various VTaL tools such as Google Sites, calendars, tracking sheets, and Google Plus communities to assist them with their learning and to accelerate student achievement. You're doing technology, you're doing ICT, fantastic. So when you come to ICT, or when you come to Digitech, how do you know what it is that you're supposed to be doing?
We go on the Tamaki site.
Yes.
And then we go on the Digitech, and then we go on the Year 8 calendar.
Okay. Would you be able to walk us through that process?
Yes.
Yes.
So show us, what does that look like?
So you log into Tamaki College site, and now we go to
Curriculum. And then you go learning ideas.
Cool.
And then we go on technology.
Mm-hmm.
And then you press Digitech where it says Miss Anderson's name. And then you click on Year 8 calendar.
Okay, so when you're in Digitech, that is the subject site, and so you're going into the calendar. And why are you going into the calendar?
To
get our work.
To get your work. Okay. To get your work, or
to find out what we're doing.
to find out what you're doing. Fantastic. All right, can you show us what that looks like?
So we're on Friday, 18th November, and we just press on this 850 and we go into design ideas. Design the ideas of design brief, and there's a semester 3 for year 8, and it shows what we're learning. And the green part is when we finished.
We
What
have
finished?
achieved and not achieved.
And when you look up here, there's design brief where we had to complete our work.
Okay.
I am Sone Javier. I am Lisette Bawali.
Okay, and my understanding is that you're using Google Plus communities at the moment in class?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Okay. So what are you using the communities for?
To upload work and to compare to other people, just in case we have anything missing or lacking in our same task.
What happened next? I incorporated the tools that I knew were effective in my subject, as well as other tools that I was trialing and am continuing to trial, and developed a framework which I named VTaL Visible Teaching and Learning. I created a VTaL Google Plus community to share various aspects of the VTaL framework that I'd developed. This became a platform for myself and colleagues to share teaching and learning resources relating to learn, create, and share. Kia ora, this is the Visible Teaching and Learning Google Plus community, also referred to as VTaL for Visible Teaching and Learning. In this Google Plus community, we have a range of different categories that relate to the use of different tools for visible teaching and learning. When you click in to any of the different categories, it'll have posts that have been shared by different members of this community. Relating to student achievement or accelerating student achievement, as well as the journey through the use of visible teaching and learning and teaching practices. As well as the various categories, there's also a description about the community and links to relevant websites. Anyone can join the community. As an administrator, it says they're managed, but if you were to navigate through to the community, you could ask to join. Purpose of the VTaL site. The VTaL Google Plus community didn't provide much of what VTaL is or why VTaL is useful and effective. It mostly included how VTaL was being used. And so, the purpose of the VTaL site is to guide teachers on the development and use of various VTaL visible teaching and learning tools. The following clip shows a student demonstrating how visible teaching and learning is used and accessed through my Digitech Google subject site.
Enter the URL tamaki.ac.nz into the search bar. And in the navigation bar, select curriculum and then learning areas. For this example, I'm going to use my technology teacher, Miss Anderson's website. I can go into technology and then Miss Anderson to access the website. Because I'm looking at this website through the perspective of a parent, I want to see what my child has done throughout the year. I can do this by searching to the year level. Mine being year 13, I can select the course overview in the drop-down menu. I can also see what they've been doing for individual days by heading back to the year 13 drop-down menu. I can go to the calendar. I can also see that they have a catch-up session after school. If I wanted to, I can see what they've been doing throughout the year by looking at individual assessments.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, me too. Like, yeah, this one.
How'd it go, Gus? How is this tool or how is this site different? I hadn't seen a visible teaching and learning model based on teaching and learning in a secondary school environment. This is how the opportunity arose to develop the VTaL site to work in conjunction with the VTaL Google Plus community. Throughout the development process, I created and trialed and also gained feedback on various versions of the VTaL Google site. The development process for the visible teaching and learning site started with this initial idea, which is in the original Google site format, which took on this form here. Along the navigation bar, I had all of the tools, but they were just identified as tools, so you couldn't actually see what they were. Part of the design around that was just in order to keep all of the buttons along one navigation pane. The next version of the VTaL site went into the new Google site format, whereby I use the drop-down box primarily. Again, the tools were just identifiable by tools, but you didn't actually know what the tools were. The other options we had also was a link to the Google Plus community, to my blog, and also to my Digitech site. The next version, a few other changes to that is that I started to drop in the names of the actual tools that were being used here. Got rid of irrelevant navigation well, not entirely irrelevant, but just based on stakeholder feedback, and ended up just with a link to the VTaL Google Plus community as well as the drop down to VTaL Tools. And here we've got a description of the site as well as a link to a presentation from the start of my journey with visible teaching and learning. The VTaL Visible Teaching and Learning site is now complete and ready for use. This is the VTaL Visible Teaching and Learning site. So the VTaL Visible Teaching and Learning site enables teachers to understand the purpose of how visible teaching and learning can be used effectively to accelerate learning, as stated in this description here. VTaL Visible Teaching and Learning is a series of tools that supports learn, create, and share in the secondary school environment. And here is a further description of what you are likely to see or what you can expect to see within this VTaL site. If we scroll down a little bit on the home page, you'll see a link or buttons for the various digital tools, and these all link off to different pages. If you go up to the top navigation bar, there's a drop-down box for VTaL tools, so you could actually navigate through to the various tools via the drop-down box as well. On the right-hand side is also a link to the VTaL Google Plus community. Still on the home page of the VTaL site, contact details if you would like to get in touch with me. A link to my subject website. Again, a link to the Google Plus community, and if you wish to see, there's also a link to my blog, MySpace and MyPlace. And in my blog, you'll see a lot of the journey relating to VTaL, visible teaching and learning, both the site, Google Plus community, and teaching practices. So, if we were to click on one of the buttons, shortcuts, takes us through to this page. So on this page, web page for subject sites, you'll see a description of what you will expect to be able to see and access or have access to on this particular page. So what it has here is a section on subject sites, the purpose of subject sites and the benefit of subject sites. There's also a subject site example. The next section of this web page is a series of links to posts in the VTaL Google Plus community that relates to subject sites. So these could be relevant to people trying to understand the journey of subject sites with regards to visible teaching and learning. Below that, there is different aspects of practicing teaching criteria that relates to the use of this particular tool, Google Sites, some reflective questions for teaching practitioners, and then below that there is also a connection of this particular tool to the 7 principles of learning from the OECD Nature of Learning report, and some hyperlinks that link back off to there. So that's how each page within the VTaL site is laid out. So if we just go back into the navigation drop-down box and go into a different tool, go into tracking sheets, same layout. A brief description of what you're likely to see on this page, a description of the tool, the purpose of the tool and the benefit of the tool. Scroll down. This one here has a link to a template for the tool. Next section down, a whole series of different posts relating to this particular tool, tracking sheets, which is in the VTaL Google Plus community. And it's good to note actually at this stage that it's not, or that there are a variety of different posts from across different specialist areas. Once again, links to practicing teaching criteria, reflective questions, and links to the 7 principles of learning. Go back home, back to the home page. You'll see the main overall description, the links to the different tools, and once again, just a link at the very top, navigation to the VTaL Google Plus community. The following are links, a series of links to different VTaL resources, including the VTaL website, my subject site, Digitech with Miss Anderson, the VTaL Google Plus online community, as well as my own professional blog, MySpace and MyPlace. Feel free to click on any of the links, navigate to the different resources. Also feel free to contact me via my subject site, Digitech with Miss Anderson, or the VTaL website.